What's up YouTube, Jock217 here, and we are here with our first official Kingdom Hearts Top 10 Countdown. Have you guys ever seen somebody fight a really hard boss and they do a really good job and you see a bunch of people praising them and everything and they make them look easy, and then you find that one person in the comments section that's like, oh, that attack was too cheap, oh, you cheated, oh, that was too broken, man, fight him this way and we'll talk, and all that other jazz? I know I have. Hell, I even fell victim to this. There's a lot of different cheap and broken things out there. Whether they be attacks, whether they be abilities, they can be battle strategies, and a variety of other different things as well. Everybody even has their own definition of what cheap and broken means. For some people, it's just whatever makes the game easier. For me, cheap and broken means it makes the game easier and you don't have to use it. And so in this video, I'm going to discuss what I find are the cheapest and most broken things in this whole entire series. Keep in mind, this isn't just battle strategies and attacks. It can also be abilities, it can be anything goes. However, I will say this. Keyblades by themselves do not count unless they are used for a particular battle strategy. I mean, if a Keyblade helps boost you up, it's not cheap and broken, it just makes you stronger. I mean, come on now. Now, I know there is a variety of different things in this series that are really cheap and broken, and I'm most likely gonna miss a few. So if I do, please feel free to list it in the comments below. Now, before we get started, we actually have a few honorable mentions. These things are indeed worthy candidates of being on this list, but they didn't make it due to my own personal reasons. Firstly, let me apologize for the video quality. I don't have a 3DS capture device, so I actually had to record this from my phone, so special thanks to my best friend PunkShark91 for helping me record this. Anyway, the first honorable mention is flow motion. I can see how this makes the game easier. You know, it's a lot of fun. You can bounce off the walls, you can swing on poles, it'll help you dodge a bunch of enemies' attacks, you have a bunch of powerful attacks that go along with it and stuff. But in all honesty, it's a game mechanic that they give to you, and you're not invincible when you use it, guys. If you attack during flow motion, you'll still take damage. Yeah, you won't flinch, but at the same time, you're still gonna take a bunch of damage. And simply jumping around the stage up in the air, doing shock dives over and over and over, is indeed fun, but at the same time, it doesn't mean you're invincible. There are enemies out there that can indeed hit you while you do this stuff. And if that's not reason enough, let us not forget one very important thing. You need flow motion in the fight against Spelican. I mean, have you guys completely forgot about that? In the very beginning of the battle, they put you on this flow motion rail. You cannot escape from it. I mean, you need flow motion to dodge his attacks so you can actually catch up to him and actually win the battle. You need flow motion to win this battle, so therefore it's not cheap and broken. But it does indeed make the game easier, but it isn't cheap and broken, so it is definitely worth an honorable mention. Reaction commands. I will indeed agree that these things make the game 10 times easier and that they are indeed overpowered. Hell, they are all over the place, and there is indeed a bunch of battles throughout this whole entire game that pretty much force you to use reaction commands. However, there's two major things that a lot of people fail to see. The first one is that they don't always help you. Take this fight with Data Luxor, for instance. If you suck at his game, and if you do a reaction command in this battle at all, it was not gonna go very well and you're gonna die. I'm telling you, if you suck at his game and you do reaction commands in this fight, you are gonna lose. The only time you will use reaction commands in this whole entire fight is when he does that look closely stuff. But other than that, if you just simply spam reaction commands, your time gauge will go down way too fast, and also you'll turn into either a dice or a card depending on which minigame he does. And the second thing is, you actually need reaction commands to win battles. Take this fight with Data Axel, for instance. If you try to beat him without reaction commands, you're not gonna succeed. You cannot beat Data Axel without using reaction commands. If the fire is up while you fight Data Axel, he will not die. The only way to beat him is by doing the reaction command to clear the fire and then finishing him off. A lot of people fail to realize that you actually need reaction commands to beat this game. there's other battles like this, but Data Axle is just an example of this. So due to the fact that you actually need reaction commands, that's what makes it an honorable mention and not cheap and broken. The balloon spells. Yes, a lot of you are going to kick my ass for this one. For those of you that don't know what balloon does, pretty much what it does is it acts like the mines from Birth by Sleep in a way. Pretty much enemies that come in contact with it take a lot of damage. In all honesty, guys, I don't really find balloon that good of a spell. I mean, I really don't. I mean, let me list all of the flaws that come with it, because apparently a lot of people don't see the same flaws that I do. The first flaw is that balloon is really harder to get than a lot of people think it is. You get the first balloon in the very first world that you get as Sora, and then you get the second one as Riku. But after that, that's it. You don't get any more balloons until Pinocchio's world unless you got super massively lucky and you got the R&R seal from the AR cards. Let me tell you, if you're playing this game on critical mode right now and you're doing a level 1 critical mode challenge, good luck getting to Pinocchio's world, because in all honesty, I still haven't got there yet because of the damn fucking praying mantis boss in Tron's world. So, balloon is actually way harder to get than people think it is. And if that's not enough, the other flaw to this spell is it has to touch the enemy in order for it to do damage. I mean, yeah, I know Balloon Gun actually hones in on the enemy, but it's so damn slow to where enemies can easily just dodge it and run away. And also, if you use Balloonra, you're wide open when you use it because of the damn animation. And, you know, Balloon is indeed powerful, but what if the enemy likes to run really fast, or what if he likes to teleport, or what if he likes to attack you from far away? Balloon is practically useless at that point. The only battle I've seen Balloon actually useful in is the fight against Julius, because of the simple fact that Julius charges at you pretty much 24/7, and Balloon will always hit him and do a bunch of damage to him. A lot of people can't beat Julius without simply using Balloon, and I don't blame you, but at the same time, Julius really isn't that hard without Balloon, to be honest. So even though Balloon does indeed help make the fight with Julius 10 times easier, I don't find it cheap and broken. I really don't. It's not cheap and broken to me, but a lot of other people think so otherwise, so that is why it is definitely worth an honorable mention. Mega Flare. Some of you are probably really surprised that this is an honorable mention. Do not get me wrong, I love this spell. I will always use it and always will, just because of the simple fact that Bahamut is my favorite Final Fantasy summon of them all. Well, okay, Bahamut Zero is, but that's beside the point right now. Now, even though this is a really good spell and it really helps you out a lot in mob battles and it makes the battles 10 times easier, even I can see that this has a bunch of flaws. The first flaw is that in every single game it's featured in, and it is very tedious to get, with the exception of Chain of Memories, of course. In Birth by Sleep, you have to synthesize like 2 or 3 different attacks before you can finally use it, and you need certain abilities and crystals at that to actually synthesize the damn thing. And as for Dream Drop Distance, you can just simply get it from Dream Eater, but I'm pretty sure we all know by now how hard some of those Dream Eaters can be. So yeah, that is the very first flaw for obtaining Mega Flare. The second flaw is that it's a fire elemental spell. So what happens if the enemy absorbs fire? It's completely useless. So yeah, clearly if you want to use Mega Flare against people that absorb fire, it is not going to go very well. And now for the third and most important flaw that irks me. It sucks balls against bosses. Now, I know I'm fighting Ericus's armor here, but Ericus's armor does have a defensive veil, and it does go down during certain attacks. And believe it or not, I am actually using it during his defensive veil when it goes down. I am actually using it when his defensive veil goes down, and it still does really shitty damage. This isn't just for Master Ericus, it is for absolutely anybody. Any boss that you use it on, even on a boss that's like 50 levels below you, it'll really do shitty damage. So Despite the fact that Mega Flare is a really good spell and helps you in mob battles, due to the fact that it has all of these flaws that come with it, it really can't be considered cheap and broken. But a lot of people, like myself, really love this spell, so that is why it is an honorable mention. By the way, I know I said in the beginning of the video how it's our official countdown. I don't work for like IGN or Square Enix or anybody like that or anything. This is just my personal opinion. Remember that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started then, shall we? These are, in my opinion, the top 10 cheapest and most broken things in Kingdom Hearts. Jock, are you seriously checking out Aqua right now? Yeah. Look at her. She's fucking sexy as hell. Okay, Jock, look, we agree that Aqua is sexy, but can we please just get on with the countdown? And actually, no, just give me a few more minutes. Jock, no, please just get on with the countdown, okay? We don't need your pervertedness. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. Coming in at number 10 is Experience Walker combined with Experience Chance. You're probably wondering, what the hell just happened, right? You just gained a level, but you did absolutely nothing. Actually, no. As we can see here in the abilities, Experience Walker awards you 1 experience for every step that you take, and Experience Chance doubles the experience when you're below 25% HP. You know what that means, right? You can simply gain levels over and over and over by simply running around in a circle all day long. In fact, who's to say you even have to do this? I mean, here in this footage, I'm not even touching the controller. I just have my awesome Zelda wallet touching my joystick, and it's still making Aqua move, as you can clearly see. Now, there is a flaw to this, however, and it's a huge flaw at that. Eventually, if you keep it on the joystick long enough, eventually the AI is going to make the character stop. It's either that or I'm just not putting enough pressure on my joystick. And I just realized how wrong that sounded. Wow. Now, but this can be easily fixed because of the simple fact that all you have to do is just simply slightly touch the joystick again and Aqua will continue to move, as you can clearly see. Now, this does work in Dream Drop distance, however, but if it's not the AI stopping the character, it's going to be that dreaded drop system. So, yeah, either way, this is perfect for those who are just way too lazy to grind out there, like myself sometimes. So yeah, how can this not be cheap and broken? This is a very easy way to level up if you don't have the time just to level up because you're busy with work or something. So this is definitely cheap and broken in my eyes. Shotlocks. These things act an awful lot like the limits from Kingdom Hearts 2, except a souped up version. Instead of MP, Shotlocks just require a little bit of the focus gauge, and if you max it out, you don't even have to use that much of the focus gauge to even max it out, as you can clearly see. And actually, you will do a shitload of damage to bosses, as you can clearly see in the footage here. Now, whether or not they ignore defense or whether they're based on the level, I'm still not sure yet, but I'm pretty sure we can all agree that Shotlocks make half of these boss battles 10 times easier than they're supposed to be. I cannot tell you how much crap I got for using Shotlocks against the fight against Armor of Ericus, but that's beside the point right now. And naturally, if you combine it with all of the abilities that help you regenerate your focus 10 times faster, then you pretty much got the battle in the bag. However, there is one flaw to this, however. While you are trying to target the person, you can indeed get hit. But, naturally, you can easily just press X before they even hit you, so it's very cheap and broken in my eyes. And I also forgot to mention that while you use Shotlocks, you're completely invincible. So, yeah. So this is definitely cheap and broken in my eyes, and I'm sure we can all agree that it makes these battles 10 times easier. So, definitely cheap and broken in my eyes. Alrighty guys, for this next sequence, take a real good look at my HP. Okay, so after all that, I only got hit one time? For those of you that don't know what went on, this is the donut gummy ship. And this is very easy to create. All you have to do is go to the gummy menu and make a square. Add some cannons to it, and there you go. So, in case you don't know what's going on, pretty much the donut gummy ship, every single enemy that you fight with this thing targets the center of the donut gummy ship. That is how their AI is programmed. But since there is no center of the donut gummy ship, you're not gonna get hit at all whatsoever by bullets. There's only two ways you can get hit. One of them is if they ram you, they can still ram you, and two, by bombs. Now, getting hit by bombs is actually kind of luck based, to be honest, but you can still get hit by them, so just so you know that. In all honesty, this should be at a very higher ranking than it is now. The only reason why it's not is because of the simple fact that 75% of you just simply don't give a fuck about the gummy missions. So that very reason alone is the very reason why it is number 8 and not number 4. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep has a lot, and I mean a lot, of really powerful attacks that a lot of people consider cheap and broken. Hell, half of the attacks in this game belong on this list by themselves. Most of them are really easy to make, and they are very powerful and badass. Especially the ones used by Aqua. I mean, hell, Aqua has all of the badass attacks in this game, and I love playing as her. But, however, she also has the powerful and badass attacks for a very, very, very good reason. Playing as Aqua on Birth by Sleep on critical mode is actually pretty damn hard when you think about it. It really, 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 really is. Now, most of these attacks are really hard to synthesize, but they're still pretty powerful. However, it would be unfair to make a list based off of all the attacks of Birth by Sleep. So I'm going to have to go with the most popular one in the game, which is going to have to be the Surge attacks. They're very, very easy to make. You're completely invincible when you use it. They only cost one command slot, and they really do a shitload of damage. They really, 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 really do. And I also forgot to mention one big, big upside to these attacks. All 3 characters can use them. And trust me, it really, really comes in handy. Especially for Aqua. Hell, Aqua can use all 3 types of surges, and she even gets her own called Barrier Surge. And trust me, this attack really comes in handy. Because playing as Aqua is hard in critical mode. They give you one in the first world for a very, very good reason, you know. So, in other words, these attacks are very, 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 very good, and they are really cheap and broken, and they are very, very powerful, and they are popular. However, they do have one big flaw. They can be blocked, and it's because of this very flaw that it is at number 7. It would be a higher ranking if it couldn't be blocked, but oh well. And now, why is this attack the most popular, you may ask? Because it makes the fight with this asshole 10 times easier. They make a shitload of YouTube videos dedicated to beating this bitch without using Thunder Surge for a very good reason. Trust me, try fighting this guy without Thunder Surge. It is not pretty. It is not easy to do. And trust me, I was actually one of the few people that almost managed to beat him without using Thunder Surge, but thanks to the fact that this guy is a complete and total asshole, I sadly am only one of those people that only beat him with Thunder Surge, sadly. And I'm still pissed off to this very day about it because I came really close. Some of you have actually seen that video too. And I hate this guy to this day. Fuck you, Doom Attack! Oh, I see a battle with Data Demics, so that can only mean one thing: Wisdom Form Fire. Now, in all honesty, I still find Final Form Thunder and Master Form Thunder a little bit more cheap and broken than this, but naturally, Wisdom Form Fire is the one that's the most popular, and I can see why. Fire doesn't cost that much MP, it's very quick, you can do a shitload of damage to your enemies, and you're practically invincible when you use it. Now keep in mind I said practically invincible, not invincible. This isn't a surge attack. You'll still take damage when you do it. Now why is Wisdom Form Fire the most popular one, you may ask? Because it helps out with this fight a lot. It really helps you out in this fight a lot, and naturally some people can only beat Data Demics with only using Wisdom Form Fire. But wait a minute, Jock, you said that cheap and broken things means it's something that you don't have to use. You need Wisdom Form Fire to beat Data Demics, don't you? I said the same exact thing, and then this happened. Back off! It's over! Take this! Yeah, back off! Back off! Take this! Blew it again. And there you have it. You don't need Wisdom Form Fire to beat Data Demics, so there you go.
Let's go! Give me strength!
Ah yes, Limit Form. We all knew this one would be on here. I can't tell you how much crap Limit Form receives on a variety of different YouTube videos. And in all honesty, they have a good point. I mean, Limit Form is really cheap and broken in its right. I mean, when you're in Limit Form, all your attacks are really overpowered. Every time you do a limit and it hits something, you gain HP, and probably the biggest one of them all, you can use it by yourself. You don't need to have anybody in your party to use it, given you have the right amount of drive gauge points, of course. And also, keep in mind, when you do the limits, you are invincible, but the invincibility frame is a lot less than what it was in Kingdom Hearts 1. So let's just keep that in mind. And in all honesty, a lot of people simply rely on Limit Form just to simply beat all the really hard bosses like Data Vexen, Terra, and hell, even this battle. And in all honesty, I don't really blame you guys, because look at the results that Limit Form gives you. It's very cheap and overpowered, and simply spamming limits will just get the job done. The only flaw that Limit Form has is the fact that your limits cost a shitload of MP, but naturally elixirs and mega elixirs can solve this problem very easily. Just don't use it too much when Donald and Goofy are present, otherwise you know who will show up. Fucking Anti-Sora. Come on, guys, I had to. I mean, everybody loves Reflect. It's a really great spell. You get it early in the game. It doesn't cost that much MP. You can dodge any attack, and it does a shitload of damage to the enemy. It's cheap and broken. I mean, you can use this on absolutely any boss, even bosses who are supposed to be immune to magic, like Sephiroth. And it makes this fights 10 times easier than what they're supposed to be. And hell, you can simply defeat Data Lexius here by simply spamming Reflect over and over and over, as you can clearly see. Now, it is indeed possible to beat these guys without Reflect, but naturally people decide to take the easy way out and just use Reflect as they wish. Now, in all honesty, I don't blame you guys, because for some of these bosses, I'll just simply resort to using Reflect too. Trust me, Reflect is really cheap and broken, yet for some completely illogical reason, it doesn't really get that much hate compared to half the other stuff in this series. So, after watching this video, you want to beat this whole game without using Reflect, here's all I have to say. Have fun fighting Data Zigbar! That still blows my mind to this day, how you can dodge that by simply running around in a circle. This technique sickens me. I don't think I need to explain why this is cheap and broken, so I'll just go straight to the flaws. The first flaw is that you can't get this until very late in the game. Why? Because you need to beat Sephiroth to get Fenrir, and for some reason you guys can't beat Sephiroth. The second flaw is you can't do this on the level 1 critical mode challenge because you need to get negative combo by leveling up. The third flaw is that this only works on some bosses, not all of them, so don't try doing this on every single boss. And the last flaw, and probably the most important one, you need timing to pull this off. If you mess up at all, you are going to mess up the loop, the guy is going to retaliate, and you are most likely going to die, depending on what level you try to do this on. So, yeah. This technique has a shitload of flaws that I just listed, but as you can clearly see, it is very cheap and broken, so much to the point that the flaws don't even matter. Chain of Memory Sonic Blade spam. Do I really need to talk about this one? I was originally going to make that as a tie for number 1, but a lot of you simply despise Chain of Memories, so you guys didn't even get that far to where you even get Sonic Blade. However, this next one is so damn cheap and broken beyond belief. I cannot tell you how shocked I was when I first discovered this, and I cannot believe how easy this thing makes this game. Most of you haven't even seen this before, or some of you may have and you just didn't even know about this. So here we go. This is, in my opinion, the cheapest and most broken thing in the history of Kingdom Hearts. No, it's not a glitch. No, it's not a cheat code. No, I didn't hack the game. And no, I'm not punking you. This is the most broken thing in this whole entire series. Why? I'll tell you why. Here's all the fates it has. Number one, you don't need timing. You can just simply hammer the square button as many times as you want to, and if you're fast enough, you will not get hit. The second one is you can get it at the very beginning of the game, and you can level it up to the max level before you even go to the first world thanks to the command boards. And the last flaw I'll explain the last fate I will explain in a minute, but just look at this! How is this not cheap and broken? You can see how it's broken, but how is it cheap? Well, it sets you up to where you can literally wait and wait and wait and wait until the enemy is open so you can actually attack him. Now, this thing has two flaws. The first flaw is that it doesn't work for Terra. Well, okay, it does work for Terra, but the only difference is you have to actually time it right for Terra. So that is the first flaw for this. For Terra, you have to actually time it right since Terra is so damn slow. And the second flaw is actually pretty obvious. You can't beat a boss by simply dodge rolling forever. You're gonna have to attack him at some point. And depending on who you're playing as, what attack you're using, and what level you are, and who you're fighting, you could end up dying. But in all honesty, that doesn't even matter because if you dodge roll long enough, I'm pretty positive you'll be able to read their attack patterns at some point. So it's not that big of a deal, really. I mean, that's what makes it cheap. You literally study the enemy forever while you remain invincible throughout the whole entire battle. And I know I mentioned the other fate. There's one more good side about this. Guess what it is? It works for Aqua's cartwheel too. I was not kidding when I said this is broken, and that wasn't a typo in the very beginning of this part. It's called dodge maneuver. She cartwheels, but it still works regardless. You are completely invincible as Aqua and Ven by simply pressing the square button over and over and over and over. I mean, you have no idea how easy this makes the game. Because of this, I am no longer afraid to do a level 1 critical mode challenge with both Aqua and Ven. So when I plan to do an LP of this game, prepare to see that. Now, with Aqua and Ven at least. Think I'm exaggerating? Observe. If there's anything more broken than this, please post a video response. I would love to see that. The only way you will get hit by this is if you press the square button too damn slow, or if you just have really bad luck, like me sometimes. Nothing in this whole entire series is more cheap and broken than Birth by Sleep's dodge maneuver. So, that'll do it for my top 10 countdown. I hope you guys enjoyed. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, viewers, and be safe.